Good evening, everybody. How are you today? It's Sharon Hankins here, live with another DIY project on the Essential Stencil page. Let me know where you're watching from, where you're tuning in from. Can't wait for you to join me today on some more Easter projects. So the Easter bundles are live right now. No need to wait, no pre-orders. They are available now. So we're excited to use some of those today. And you may have seen them being shown around by some of the ambassadors here this week. So let's have a quick look through to see what is in the bundles. And guess what? Also, there's some more great news. Essential Stencil has extended the free shipping right through to February, to the end of February, 28th of February. And just a reminder, my name's Sharon Hankins. You can find me at I Restore Stuff on any of your social media platforms for more DIY. I love to upcycle furniture and home decor. So yes, hello everybody. How are you? Thanks for coming on and saying hello. Thanks for sharing our live. You can just hit that little button there, sprinkle the love out there in Facebook land, and then come right back here and join me for our live. Hi Elisa, Pat's here, Annetta, Debbie's here. All right, so let's have a quick look. I ran through some of these last week. There are transfers and there are stencils, and there's a transfer bundle and a stencil bundle. So, and the bundle involves a free gift. So let me just show you all the things we've got. Let's go through the stencils first really quickly. We've got the 3-pack bunny, chick and lamb. We have a 2-pack floral happy Easter, which also has happy hello spring on the back. This cute single stencil cottontail cottage, not village, very cute. I love these kind of vintage sign looking things to make something rustic and fun. I did this one last week, so you'll go back to last week's live and see that I did Bunny Crossing, which also has a hippity hoppity sign on the back. 2-piece set. There's a gorgeous welcome sign in this nice new font, which you could just use for any time of the year. It doesn't have to be Easter. And I'll let you know that these bundles are available now as the Easter bundle and the transfer bundle, stencil bundle, transfer bundle. But also you can order them singly, I believe now, or when the bundles are finished. I think you can order them singly now as well. But you do save more when you get them as a bundle. So you're saving something like 10 to 15%. And as well as that, if you always add a code on top, so add my code I Restore Stuff, and you get a further 10% off on your stencils or your transfers there. All right, so we've got the welcome sign, and you can replace the O here with Easter egg. What else have we got? A rabbit or a little Easter lily. So there's those bonuses in that pack. 6-piece set, Easter bunny hop this way, large porch leaner. So those are all the pieces in that. Cute single, happy Easter. I call this one a colouring in set because it's an outline of a bunny and a cute garden and a happy Easter sign. And you can, stencil this and colour it in, use it for some colouring. This is another happy Easter, gorgeous for a tray or a sign for your garden. And also, I love that these flowers on either side, you could use them without the rabbit for any season, for something spring, any of those kind of things. So that's those. And then we're going to show you what I'm working on with today. There's a couple more stencils that I'm working with today. I have a little wooden crate box. Now it was this color, and I've just stained it with a wash, a beautiful paint wash. And I'm going to be using this set here, Easter Wishes. It comes with 4 different stencils, and I'll show you those in a minute when we do that project. We also have another little one that a little box that I'm going to use for words. And as always, Faith 1-inch words. So we've got all these words here. Now, when Essential Stencil comes out with these word sets, you better grab them. I think I saw there was like only about 9 left. So yeah, that does confirm with me. Yes, you can buy everything singly, not just in the bundles. So those are ready to ship. And remember, free shipping all of February. So grab a hold of those. I'll be using those words today on the side of this box. And the other set that I'm going to use today on this board here, which I'm going to show you a technique. This is just a plywood board, and I've stained it, and then I sort of went over with the paint, but you can still see the wood grain through the paint right there. You can see it looks like a big blotch or patch. It's just because of the unevenness in this grain of the plywood. I'm going to show you, I'm going to paint this white, but I'm going to do a resist technique on this. I haven't done that for ages. I feel like at least a year. So I thought I'd show you another technique for making a background for your signs, and using some wax and then some paint. So stay tuned for that, but I'll be using this set on that board, and it's the Easter Faith set, and it's got some cute little signs which I'll go through when we get up to that. The last thing I want to show you is Easter tags are a free gift only included in the bundle. So if you get the bundle, you'll automatically receive this set. Now there are some great little signs in there. We've got Easter tag with the T being a cross. We've got the lamb, and then the others, put this down, we've got crosses on a hill. We've got a church. We've got another cross, trying to sort these all out. Another cross here with the Easter lily, and then a beautiful He is risen wording. So those are really great value to get all those mini tags as a free gift when you order the bundle. Now when you do order the bundles, either the transfer or the stencil bundles, you do save. If you were to buy everything singly, I think you would save, let me see what I wrote down. The transfer bundle deal, which I'm going to show you now, is 10, you would save 10% on that. And the stencil bundle deal includes an exclusive free stencil set, which I showed you, and you get 15% savings on that. So you get huge savings when you do order the full bundle. So if you're thinking about, say, maybe order 5 of the 7, I don't know how many there is, 7 of the 10 stencil sets, then you might want to think about getting a bundle, because you're probably saving on there. So the transfers, free transfers, you can grab them as a bundle to save 10%. And remember, you add my code and you add an extra 10% saving, take an extra 10% off the total there. So this is the first lot of transfers, Easter Blessings. And you'll see they have so many gorgeous, cute designs on there. You can see I've cut some of mine out on here already. Then this one has been really popular. I think there's only a few of those left. So those are large bunny portraits. They're called bunny portraits. And there's just one of those in there. So if you do want a couple, you've got sets of 2 and sets of 3 will also save you as well when you're buying them, if you're just buying them singly. But if you want to buy the bundle, you can grab that now. And here's the other one, is He is Risen. This one's been popular too, because Essential Stencil has added words. I think for the first time, I haven't seen words before added on the transfers. So He is Risen, 3 eggs here, cross, some beautiful cross symbols with tulips, lilies. There's one draped in the shroud, I think you'd call that. And then look at these word ones. Really gorgeous. So bless this bread. You could use that any time of the year, not just Easter. And the Bible. You could use some of these for so many different things. So those are the transfers, 3 sets of transfers. If you get them as a bundle, you save 10%. I think that's all for now that I've gone through everything. Let's bend the camera down here so we can have a look at my project today and get started on this technique I was telling you about to show you. So I've got my box here. I'm going to do some stenciling on that. There's my reminder for you to save 10%. You can use my code, I restore stuff. All right. Got my offloading cardboard here, but before I start, we're doing a background. So I've painted this in a, let me just grab the comments here because I'm not able to, I've bent my phone down so I can't see them now. Thank you, Cindy, for sprinkling. We love it when you share our lives so others can see. I've just grabbed a cloth here. Now what we're going to do is create a weathered look board. Now I have to be careful of something here because Tammy reminded me of that when she did her live last week. She had some trouble with a board that she purchased at Walmart that already had some kind of different surface on it, and she found that her transfer did not stick to the board because it had some kind of oil film on the surface. And so you have to be careful and know what you're painting your surface with. So with this particular background that I want to show you, and also using water-based paints, they may not stick, the stencils might not stick as well if you have some kind of oily surface. Now, having said that, I'm going to be applying this wax. So when I thought about this, I thought, well, we better be careful where we apply it. I want some weathered look on here, and then I'm going to paint over it. And in those areas where I've applied the wax, it's going to be removed and reveal this nice dark timber. So if I was sanding back to create a weathered surface normally, if I didn't have this wax to resist that surface, it would come back to a raw timber underneath. So let me show you what we're talking about. So I've got just some beautiful beeswax. Smells like beeswax. It's a really nice smell. Fusion does have some beeswax. If you do want my Fusion code, it's I Restore Stuff as well also, and the link is right there in the description of the live as well. So I'm just going to put this beeswax, apply it to mainly the edge areas, as those would, because the edges would be mostly the areas on a rustic board where you would have some weathering and you know, some worn looks. So I'm adding just beeswax. Could add hemp oil is another one which also reacts differently. And I'm just going to be adding it in little bits and pieces, but I don't want to add any wax to the center just in case I don't want my transfer not to stick there. So that's what I'm doing for this. I might try still sand in areas there. So if you've just jumped on, we are adding a bit of wax to resist our next layer of paint, which is going to be a white color. I'm just using Fusion's Raw Silk. It's a nice creamy color. Here is their casement to show you a comparison. There's the bright white here, and Raw Silk's just got a bit of an off-white tone, and it actually covers a lot better than some of their than the pure whites. And that goes with any brand really. If you have a off-white, it's going to get a bit more coverage. All right, so now I've got my raw silk. So we'll go through the steps again. I've painted my board in this brown color, and it's actually the color Oakham. I just used a tester pot and just brushed that on. It's this nice dark gray green brown, and you probably can't see the green in it really. It just sort of looks brown. And I may even just see if you can see on those edges where I've applied the wax, you can see a bit of a shimmery surface. I'm not sure if that's showing up in the light. Maybe, oh, I think I saw it there, little shimmer on the corners. Those are going to look quite rustic after we've painted our white. So I'm just grabbing a whole bunch of paint and we're just laying it on the surface, and you may see that the areas on the ends, I'm going to have to go, I'll go over it after my live and do the edges because the edges are a bit fiddly, so we'll just leave that till later. And I'm just adding fairly liberally the white paint. And I want to lay it on. I don't want to push the brush too much on the surface because, and you'll notice where the wax is, it's even starting to resist the paint right at the top there. So that's what happens when water-based paint goes over the top of an oil or a wax. It will start to bead. So we don't want that to happen in the middle where we want to put our transfer on, because that's where we want it to be nice and matte and flat, and we just want it to be paint. Okay, so there, I'm going to do just the one coat for now, and I'll have a look and see after that. So we need nice, smooth, straight lines. I'm just going to grab a piece of plastic. Little plastic bag to wrap my brush in so that we don't, in case we want to come back and do a second coat, I just use a little plastic bag to wrap your brush in, or you can use saran wrap, cling wrap, what do you call it? Thank you for sprinkling, Cindy. Amazing. All right, so now I'm going to hit that with a hairdryer. It's going to be a little noisy here, but I will show you those edges where I've put the wax resist in between the brown paint layer. You can see it beading up around the edges. I also would love to see a little bit of crackling if I'm drying this really hot, but I'm not sure if I will. Just going to have a read of your comments while we're drying here, so let me know if you've got any questions so far. Thank you, Marcella. Oh, that's lovely. Yes, Maggie, I'm going to be sanding some paint off where those wax parts are. It's quite wet because I just laid it on. Debbie. Just going to feel that now. I'm not sure if that shine is wet paint still. I think there's a streak of paint that is still quite wet, and it's probably gone through that little crack in the grain. Imagine that wax is probably melting a little bit under the heat too. Gloria, the beeswax comes from Fusion Mineral Paint. They have some beautiful, I think it's called salad bowl finish or something like that. Use my code IRESTORESTUFF at the Fusion link that I've got there in the description of the live. So now we've got a nice, and this is quite rough because the plywood had a very rough finish. It's sort of all pressed together board. And I'm just going to grab a piece of sandpaper. Now I don't remember, oh, it's 180 grit. Maybe let's see if I've got a softer grit. No, that's 180 as well. It is used, so I have used it a little bit. And we'll see how we go. We may want to put a second coat of paint on that if you don't want to see so much brown through there. We've got still brown on the edges. But where we've added that resist layer, if I didn't have the wax on there, when I'm sanding, I could possibly go back right through to the raw wood, and I would like the darker brown to show through to create that weathered look. So here we go, just gently sanding back, and in those areas where I have had the wax, you can see that it's gone now back to, oops, there we go, lots more's come off. Everywhere I've had the wax, it's come off to the brown look. So we're creating a bit of a weathered look on our board. So I'll show you that. See the weathered look there? And that's called a resist, creating a wax resist method. And I said Fusion also has hemp oil, and that's another great product to add there as well. You just have to be careful if you're using transfers that you don't want that part where you're adding the transfer to have wax or oil in that area, or it won't adhere very well. Okay, here we go onto the edges here. Look how that looks like really weathered board now. I'm just sanding all over it. And you can see where the grain was raised, it's even got some fleck. Even though I didn't add wax in those bits there, it's adding a little bit of fleckiness. Okay, so we've done this side here. You can see nice weathered look. We haven't done this side here. You can just see a little bit of beading where the wax is underneath. And you can do this kind of technique on pieces of furniture, other types of home decor. It doesn't just have to be for signboards. I've used this weathering technique to make a piece of furniture look old and worn. And weathered. Okay, so going down here, so I noticed where I put the wax was mainly around the edges, in the corners. There's a nice big chunky bits come off down there. And when I seal this properly at the end, you'll see that'll really show up nicely as a really lovely weathered piece. Let's see if I've got much more up in this corner. Yep, you could do another little bit up here. So this is how you can create the weathered look yourself. I could do the sides as well. I just thought I'd do the top for now. A little bit more. Oh, there's another big chunk coming off. It depends how thick you put the wax on underneath there as to how much will come off on that surface. So I'm really happy with how that's turning out. There we go. So all ready for our sign making. So how do you like that technique? Have you tried that before? Let me know in the comments. Jamie, you love everything looking old. Yes, it's great, isn't it? So now we've got our lovely weathered piece. I thought we would add something from this set here. So we've got the 3-pack with a bonus, Easter Faith set. We've got the No Greater Love Than This, which I think I will use today. Silly Rabbit, Easter is for Jesus. We have A Lot Can Happen in 3 Days. And the last one is Remember to Pray on Easter Day. So that is that's what makes up that pack. And you can buy those singly, or that will automatically come with the bundle. Let's see. I was going to add from our transfer sets, if you missed me showing those early, you can go back and catch that replay. There's some beautiful crosses on here, and I'm thinking I'm going to separate this wreath and make it come at the top and the bottom and add a cross in between instead of the cross on here. So let's find, oh, I don't have my painter's tape with me, scissors. Let's go with this beautiful large cross here. So yeah, just make a note of that. Check your surface, see what's on the surface. It needs to be sort of a nice matte or water-based finish for your transfers to stick. So the cloth does go over a little bit onto the side. Hopefully it sticks there. We'll just kind of work on that. Let's see if it's not too big for this. It would also look just fabulous just with the cross there, but I might add this No Greater Love Than This. Okay, so that's the idea. Where is my painter's tape? Found it? Yeah, this is a great one for this background too. I really love the background. Sometimes I'm honestly experimenting with you again, and I love the way that that's turned out. I'm going to have to use this tape to cover up, for example, the I have to sort of turn it. So we're going to be covering up the cross in order to do the words on my stenciling, and we'll be leaving those little flourishes out. And this here, just put a little thing on that. Rugged cross, yes. All right, so that's the words that I'm going to be adding. So I'm going to put No Greater Love at the top, but let's get our design transfer on first. Try and figure out the center. I'll make the cross the center, so it might be a little bit more heavy up this way. So we remove our background once we've got it cut out. Hoping I've got it in sort of the center enough without using a ruler, but this cloth really goes further that way. Okay, I haven't pressed it yet. I just want to make sure there's enough room for this and enough room for that down the bottom. I think we'll go with it. Is it straight? Let me just turn it around so I'm doing everything upside down. I think it's straight enough. And now we're going to just rub it on with our tool. And I'm going to be hoping that I haven't got these little areas in areas that I have added that wax to create that resist. So, oh, no, it's working perfectly fine. So no need to worry. It's coming off really nicely. Tassels on the end. We don't want any little tassels left behind. Yeah, you can buy, so let's just go over, you can buy the stencils as a bundle, you can buy the transfers as a bundle, and if you get them as a bundle, you do save like 10 to 15% on those. There's also free shipping right through to the end of February now. They've extended their January free shipping all the way to the end of February. So if you did want to also get those bundles, don't forget to add my code iRestoreStuff and you save even more, another 10%. So it's a lot of great savings. And if you are getting the bundle, you'll need to just make sure if they sell out before the bundle, I think the bundles have got 6 more days, like they do 7 days with the bundles available. But if they sell out before that, then they sell out. So, and this is only our first day of having the Easter set live. So just remember, it is available now through for the next 6 days. Oh, I didn't rub this down. So if it does come off the plastic and you still see it on the plastic, don't forget you can lay it back down and keep rubbing. I'm going to go up to the top end now, rub this in and on. So you're just burnishing it, rubbing the back of the plastic so that the sticky part of the transfers onto your board. Really important to know what's on the surface of your board. I'll just say that again. Adheres best to a nice flat matte finish. Make sure there's no oil or grease on the surface. And a good idea is to clean your board before you, if you're not sure what's on it, clean it, give it a good scuff sand, clear the surface well, and add a coat of your favourite paint, whether it's a chalk paint, acrylic paint, fusion paint or whatever. There we go, nothing left on our plastic now, it's all on the board. So this looks absolutely beautiful, just like that. Who would leave it like this and who would add the words? I am going to add the words, but just keen to know. So we're going to add this, No Greater Love. And because this has got brown in the cross, I'm going to probably go with the brown that I sort of did the background with is this one, or there's this Elmwood, which is also a nice brown. I might do it with the lighter brown. And we're just going to grab a stenciling brush, and it's a fairly small lettering. So I'll go with the 1/2 inch brush. I do have the link for the brushes there today. Both the brushes and the what do you call these? Detail brushes are all in stock on the website. Oh, did I shake this? Oh, shake your paint, make sure it's all mixed up really well. Phyllis, you would add words. Vicky says, perfect transfer for that rugged board. Absolutely. Maggie says, either will look great. Phyllis, you would add words. Perfect transfer for that rugged board. All right, so I've dipped my brush in the paint, and again the colour is Elmwood. And I want to put it above the cross right there. Hoping I've kind of got it centered. I feel like it's a little bit over that way, but then maybe it's the cross that's not centered. And now I've got enough on my brush to just create a nice swirly, pounce and swirl kind of technique, depending on how much you've got on your brush there. The further you go around, the less is on the brush, but this feels like I've still got quite a bit on. Okay, so there we go with that. Ta-da! Nice and crisp lettering. No greater love. I'll hold that up closer so you can see. And then we'll do then this right down the bottom here. If you wanted to keep the wreath, there might be some smaller crosses that would still fit in there from the transfer sets as well. So you can have a, now I haven't put any more on the brush. I'm just going to see how much we've got left on there. No, we probably do need a little bit more. So I'm just going to dip that, a light dip. Oh, there's more on the board I could have used. Quickly swirling our brush around. Add a little bit more from here. Oh, and I like the dot for the eye is a little tiny heart. I don't know if you noticed that. The dot for the eye on this. So that's the colour Elmwood, and that's a beautiful brown to go on these. There we go. See the little heart on the eye? Isn't that cute? But don't you just love the rustic edging that we did? So if you missed how I did that, go check out the beginning of the replay, and I go through how we created that nice background. Now, what I would probably do is add a sealer on top of that, and all those nice dark brown bits will actually pop, really become even darker, and that will make the whole design, seal it in, make a nice professional finish of it. To do that, I use Fusion Mineral Paint's Tough Coat Sealer. You can use any kind of acrylic sealer, that's fine. All right, next project, let's go with something that's fairly quick and easy, is these words. Now, if you didn't grab a set of these yet, if you get the bundle, they come in the bundle. But there are so many, there's 20 words. I won't go through all of them now, but if you took a quick screenshot or you just go look at the link, you'll be able to see all the words there. So we've got hallelujah. Let me just have a look at which ones I thought would go on my box. So I've stained this with a little wash in the same stain, the same color as that board, the background of the board. Okay, we've got worship, hope. I think hope and joy I thought would be great for the ends, either end. Jesus, rejoice, pray, divine, trust, spirit, praise. Patience and wisdom I thought of would be great for my sides. So this could just be a little hope box or something like that. You could create little cards or sayings for each day. You know how some people have a little blessing box or something along those lines that you could create with. So we're just going to go over these really quickly. Wisdom, we could add our tape. So I'll just grab some of the tape that I already used on this. Let me know what you would use the words for. Could fit on lots of fun different things. Why don't I just tape them all on, and then I've got them ready to go. And see how quick this is to just easily paint up, and then I can go on with my third project for the day, which is our box over there, and a little Easter crate for hunting eggs. Here's the word joy. They're all pretty centered on here, so. and then hope. They're very great, very versatile. Could use them for so many different things. This one I'm going to have to go this way because hope is a little longer than the board, than the edge. Oop. Accidentally put that over the letter P. Just peel it back a bit. There we go. Let's do that one first. Hope. Now, I think I will go with just that lovely raw silk white colour to stencil on with. And again, they're fairly small letters. So we'll just use a small brush again, the 1/2 inch, which is another reason why it's good to grab a couple of packs of brushes, because my other 1/2 inch is now wet with a different colour paint on it. But if I wanted to use that same 1/2 inch brush, I'd have to wash it out and make sure it's really dry. So, the other thing I didn't think about, I'm gonna have to be really careful. Maybe I can be just really careful. You might want to put your tape all the way across here because the words are sort of close to the edges. Don't have to worry so much in the middle because my tape is holding it this way. So when you do use your brushes and you've washed them out, they will have to be really, really dry before you use them again, because when you have a wet brush, the paint, you've got nice solid thick paint and it just sort of waters down the paint, and then it tends to be too runny for the stencil and it'll bleed underneath the stencil. So we don't want it bleeding under there. You could do these in all sorts of colours as well. Oop, I have to get my eye a little closer. Okay, here's our hope. Let's see. Nice and rustic. Yeah, these words are great. So if you do want the words, grab them now. Use my code iRestore but they are a part of the bundle. So if you want the bundle, you will get these automatically in there. I'm just being super careful right now not to get the brush on the edges. I could use a bit of a cardstock just to prevent that from happening. That's a bit easier and you don't have to worry about the edges. Just a little bit at a time. I don't want too much on the brush, otherwise it causes bleeding underneath the stencils and we don't want that at all. Each time I dip the brush in, I'm wiping the excess off so I don't have too much on my brush. Feels like this is soaking right in. These little boxes were completely raw wood and I've just put a wash on them, so the paint is still soaking into the wood. There's our patience word. Whoops. Super easy. Joy. How many weeks have we got till Easter? Does anyone know? I believe it's in April, right? Not March this year. Okay, I'm going to put my card here to stop me going over that edge. A little bit more. It is a cute box. Oh, are the words sold out? They weren't this morning. There were still some more left. So if you didn't get them, you may want to go look now. That would mean, if they were sold out, it would mean the bundles are sold out. So maybe they have kept a few for the bundles. So maybe if you get the bundle, you'll still get the words. All right, so this side has definitely dried, so I can put that down here. And we'll just go along again with this on this edge. A little bit more. April 20th, Gloria says. Easter, April 20th. Oh, that's a fairly late Easter this year, isn't it, then? Going over the other side now. Dipping it, offloading. I can just sort of go back over the middle section. There we go. That was super easy to do. So now we've got our little, I don't know what you would call that, little positive words box, and I can imagine it's almost business card size. You could add some little cards in there and create them yourself as to what you might want to put in there. Okay, our last project for the live today is this cute box, which I've also stained. I love staining lately with these wood washes, white washes. Let's see, put that in my to wash file. And I've got this set here. So this is a 4-pack Easter Wishes set. We've got Happy Hunting Season, which is very cute with the eggs on there. That's the one I was wanting to use on this set. And then we've got Welcome to the Carrot Patch. How cute are those little carrots? We've got Bunny Kisses and Easter Wishes. Another cute little one. Those bunnies might even fit nicely on the side of my box. Let's see, what else have we got in here? The last one is Happy Easter with the little tulips, I think you would call them. So let's have a look how we can. Now I was thinking of I could also add some decorations to the side and add some transfers. From this transfer set, we've got the little eggs here that might fit. Got some transfers that might fit. I'm not sure if someone's asking would they restock the stencils. I'm not sure at this stage, because to restock them at this time close to Easter, that may not be happening. Okay, we've got some cute little rabbits, we've got some carrots. But I do have the Happy Hunting Season, which I would like to start with, so we'll get that up here. Let's see, we could, no, that rabbit's not going to fit on there. This one would look cute. Maybe I could put this on this side and something else with transfers around the other side. But to fit this on with the eggs, I'm going to have to shift things up a bit. So again, we'll go on with that white. And so yes, we will have to shift things around, which I always tend to do. Adding our white stenciling paint there. I've got it right near the tippity top because I want to fit those eggs on. And we're going to try to do those eggs in some pretty Eastery pastels. Happy Hunting Season. This is a very thin letters font, this one. So I'm not doing the season just yet. I'm going to move my stencil and pull it right up close, because this stencil was made beautifully spaced apart for a square sign, but I want to try and fit things on whatever I've got. So I've got my happy hunting right at the top, and then we're going to add season. We could even do season in a slightly different color. And then, you know, put the S up into the word. Might work. But let's see, if I put season there, will I still fit eggs on? Ooh, we could. So let's have a try of that, putting season right up here. And just being careful not to put your brush over any of the previous words from up on top of here, because now they're in a different place. So we want to make sure we get just the word seasons. If I'm shifting this around. Happy hunting season. So far so good. Will we fit our eggs on? We'll just fit them. We may go over the S a little bit, but that's okay. We may not fit we could have done something like this. Little egg here, a little bit of a rabbit over here. We could still do something like that. I feel like they look a little bit more central, don't they? They kind of feel like they need to be in the center. As we go here and here. I love to try new ideas. Oh yeah, Maggie said we could leave season off. So because we're doing this in the eggs in different colors, I'll just add the eggs on here, even though it goes into the word season, and we'll come back and do the word season at the end on top of the eggs. So let's have a look. I did get a couple of pastel-y, well, we could do white on one of them. I have a pink, let's do pink in the center. So you may want to use some tape to cover up one egg while you're doing the others. Like so. So if we go with our center egg, and then not too hard to do that, just kind of bend it around. Might add a little bit here, make sure it's fully covered, and then I'll grab another little brush, and we're doing, this is the color Peony, so it's a nice pastel pink, candy pink. Well, it's not quite, it's very pastel. Thank you, whoever said those eggs are going to be pretty on there. So we've got little hearts, and then this fills out the rest of the shape of the egg. Yeah, we can figure out something to make our word season pop on top of the eggs. Okay, so we probably have to dry that slightly. And then I've got two different blues for out on either side. I've got this paisley, which is a sort of a darker blue, and then I've got this mist, which is a very, very light blue. So let's just hit that. And then we'll remove our tape from this side, and to do this one, we're going to have to put tape down on here. So we want to make sure I don't put the tape on the paint that I've just painted. So just being really super careful about where you put your paint, where you put your tape, and put it right on that edge there. Okay, so then we'll grab our light blue. Let's try this mist color to start with. It's almost like a periwinkle blue. I'm not sure if you can see that, and it's called Mist. Okay, here it is compared to, so there's the mist, and then there's that raw silk, and this is the peony colour. It's hard to tell. Some of the colours don't turn out as well on the video screen, on your phone screen. Oh, you know what else I do have to cover up is that little tree branch, the little eucalyptus leaf. We'll cover that one up too. Okay, so we're going to go over the S here, but we'll have to bring it back somehow. We'll have a look what it looks like when I take all the stencil off it. Okay, there's our light pastel-y blue mist. And then I'll try our paisley for the other egg over this side. And I will turn this back around. We'll go cave in this way. That's easy enough to follow. And then, oh, this is a stripy one. So let's grab another little brush and we'll get the paisley colour. It is a cool box. I like it. It has nice handles. It came with a nest of 3 different boxes. Sometimes you can find little nesting boxes like this and they make a great Easter baskets, also little gift hampers, things like that. Again, let's take this here so we don't get that. And then we're going over with this nice, it's a darker blue. It's still like that mid-tone blue. And notice I'm sort of shaking my brush a little bit along the stripes instead of going round and round. I'll just wriggle it round and round at those ends, make sure we're getting in all of those little crevices and corners. Let's have a look at the results. Okay, that's all right. We can sort of still see the word Bee Hunting Season, but what I can do now is just go over the top of that word season again with that white. And see if it stands out a little better. Oops. What I might do is have you used these brushes yet? The beautiful soft bristle. I want to use them for my makeup. I think they're so nice, and I accidentally used my other brush that I had the raw silk paint on. So I'm going to use this little rounded soft bristle brush. Now we just need to make sure with these ones that you do get all of that paint into your bristles. I'm going to put the word season over the top again, exactly where it was. And we're going to go over that and make that try and stand out a little bit more. Although the pastel and the pink are still quite close in tone or shade. So they're both really light. White is light, pastels are light. So it could just still blend in there, but hopefully it'll stand out a little bit more than what it did before. Okay. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, so that stood out a little bit more. I think just that extra coat. Now it's on top of the colour. So we've got Happy Hunting Season. If I wanted to, I could even make that stand out more. So let's just flip this around to the other side, because, you know, with home decor, you can always add a bit to one side, and then if you've got it up against something else, or it's an Easter basket, you'd have it that way. If you wanted to turn it around, you could put something completely different season on this side. Just maybe should dry that, make sure that's completely dry first. Cute. Some little kid's going to love that for a little Easter basket. I sold a little Easter crate in my shop last week that had Happy Easter on the side from the last time I did an Easter project. All right. Oh, this little rabbit. Okay, we've got the rabbit. He's not going to fit, but this one might. I think he would look so cute. But also, look, I love this. So that could also be an idea. Let's just do that one. We could do something, I was thinking one of these transfers, but they may be too small. Let Your Light Shine might be a cute one. He is not here, he is risen. Just feeling around here, and I'm feeling that there's some of these fit, so that might be a good one. Otherwise, you could definitely do that as well. I think Melissa did this on her live yesterday, so let's go with this one over here. Let Your Light Shine. He is risen. One of these is going to fit. Okay, these ones are really close. We've got a little piece of wheat that's very close. I have to cut super close to get that out the way. Going right into the center here. Whoop. I love this wreath. Isn't that beautiful with the eggs around it and everything? I cannot wait to see what you all make with your beautiful transfers and stencils for Easter. You'll have to show us in the Stencil of the Month Club, where we love to, oh look, we can have a vote here. He is not here, he is risen. Or we've got Let Your Light Shine. What's the vote? What is the vote? Brenda said, I was told once if you visit Australia, you need a month. Probably longer than that too. Did you know that Australia is about the same size in actual physical area as the United States? Like if you put our map on top of your map, it's about the same geographical area, but you guys obviously have a way bigger population than we do. So let's have a look. I'm trying to see what our comments are saying. Which one you'd like. He is not here, he is risen. Oh, Judy says 1. Which one? Light shine, light shine, light shine. That's winning so far. Let your light shine. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to try and place this in the center like we did with our other cross on the one we did earlier. There we go, putting it down nice and firmly. Using our tool or whatever burnisher you'd like to use to burnish it with. You could use a store card, something like that. Oh, and this is coming off nice and easily because my wood is literally really flat and matte, and it has no oil or grease on the surface. We've got our little, and these little crosses around the side, or the little stars around the side, are kind of not showing up as well because I didn't think about that. We're doing wood on top of wood. Wood colour on wood colour, but I think it's nice and subtle, but it's enough to, I think it'll show up still. I could always go over those little crosses, stars, I call them crosses, they're little stars twinkling because obviously let your light shine, that's why. And I could go over those with a touch of gold paint, couldn't I? So we've got Easter eggs on the other side, and then you can just simply turn around your decor and show this when it's not Easter. Got the hunting season on the back there. There you go. And then again, I would just seal this whole thing because when I did put that wash, paint wash will always raise the grain of the raw wood, and so when I seal this all over, this stain will come out nicely. But look, that's a nice subtle let your light shine right there. And if I wanted to make those stand out more, I could just add a little bit of gold to those. But again, when I seal over that, you don't see the edges of the transfer as much. And here's our other side, is the happy hunting season. So let's have a look at all the things that we did today while we're waiting for our winners to show up. And there's the reminder up on my screen there that my blog is I Restore Stuff. You can see lots of blogs, tips and tricks for painting furniture and home decor over there. Of course, if you're buying the bundles today, yes, if you buy the bundles today, you get percentages off on the bundles, but also you can use my code I Restore Stuff and save an extra 10%, so don't forget that. Here is what we made first, so you can go back and catch the replay on how I created that weathered finish for the background of No Greater Love Than This. Used a beautiful transfer. We created a fun little blessing box with all these words around it. Wisdom on there. I don't know, maybe someone needs wisdom today, so they put it this way. Maybe they need patience the next day, put it that way. And then lastly, we made our happy hunting season and let your light shine on the other side. So great use of our transfers and stencils. Don't forget your bundles, look them all up. They're available today, shipping straight away. No need to wait for shipping. Brenda says, how's Olive? Haven't heard from her in a while. Yes, because she's being quiet in the other room, in her little crate, in her bed, having a rest. So after my live, I will go play with her, give her a good old run around because she's been cooped up in the little playpen for an hour. She's fine. She loves it. She makes it, it's her little safe place. Tracy, thank you so much. You are so welcome. The cross almost looks like it's glowing. Yeah, the little cross on here looks cute. Thank you. Okay, our winners today. We've got our winners' names. We've got Cindy, Tammy, and Lucretia. So Cindy, Tammy, and Lucretia, you've won a $20 gift card with Essential Stencil, and you can spend that on anything you like. Maybe you'll get the bundles today. So don't forget, they're available now. Free shipping all of February, so catch a bargain this week, guys. I'll see you next week. Live here on Essential Stencils page, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. See you then. Bye.